at school, and being a Northern athlete. We are pleased to present Katie Durr with this award. My last award is the Miss Mitchell L. Fernbaugh Award. This award is given in memory of a 1972 Northern High School graduate, Mitchell L. Fernbaugh. He was a three-sport athlete. For all 4 years at Northern, he played basketball, cross country, and he was captain and MVP of the baseball team his senior year. He exemplified all the characteristics that scholastic athletics hope to build in an athlete. He was dedicated, committed, extremely hardworking, honest, and loyal. His integrity was above reproach. His morals and ethics were of the highest standard. He would always sacrifice himself for the success of the team. The recipient of this award is nominated and elected by the coaches in the athletic department in conjunction with the athletic director and high school principal, and a plaque is displayed in the trophy case. I'm honored to present this award, the most prestigious award from the athletic department, to 3 students this year: Meredith Engel, Marley Starlipper, and Kyle Swartz. Thank you and congratulations to all our award winners tonight.
The next memorial scholarship is the Theodore E. Lockman Award. Quite simply put, this award, this scholarship goes to the best of the best. In this case, it is our class valedictorian, Miss Katie Durr.
I have the remaining memorial scholarships to do, and I start with the Kevin Butler. Kevin was a 4th grader at Wellsville when he passed away, and every parent out there would not know what to do when you lose a 4th grade child. Ken and Joan Butler started a scholarship. That scholarship has turned into a corporation. They have a board of directors, they have full-time employees, and they, to date, have given out over $300,000 for Northern students through their scholarship. They have golf tournaments, they have spaghetti dinners, they have basket bingo. So obviously the Butlers took their tragedy and turned it into something good. Tonight, we are going to award 12 graduating seniors $2,000 each. And if you hold your applause till I get through all 12 names. Kevin Butler Memorial Scholarship winners: Katie Anthony, Josh Brown, Nate Sharrock, Meredith Engel, Alana Gillis, Luis Sanchez Gonzalez, Avery Keys, Kara Klinger, Shay Paxton, Sarah Raday, Emily Sulzer, and Elise Walker. Kevin Butler Scholarship winners this year. The next one we have never given before, it is the Mark Stainbrook Memorial Technology Scholarship. This comes from the Quest Tech company, who is the company we partner with for our technology needs. And just like all of you, we've needed a lot of technology over the last couple of months. So, not knowing Mark, I called a gentleman, Mr. Scully from Quest Tech, because Dr. Eschbach had forwarded me an email from Mr. Scully talking about this Mark Stainbrook Award. So when I asked Mr. Scully to talk to me about Mark Stainbrook, the characteristics that he told me very much matched tonight's winner. He said Mark Stainbrook got sick and was only with Quest Tech for 4 years. Tonight's recipient was with us for 4 years, minus 45 days. This Mark Stainbrook made an impact on all the people he came in contact with. Our recipient tonight has made an impact on everybody they come in contact with. Very much a team player, brought everybody up around them, made them better. Our recipient has done all that. And the last thing he said is strong conviction, live by those convictions. Our winner has strong convictions, lives by those convictions. The Mark Stainbrook Memorial Technology Scholarship goes to Meredith Engel. The next one is from my family. There's 8 kids in our family. We started a scholarship in 2005. Our first winner is now on the front line fighting this pandemic. She is a doctor. We've had a lot of nurses. We've had a lot of educators. I remember we sat down to talk about criteria. We said, let's look at people that have large numbers of people in their family. Well, in 2005, there was a lot more people with 8 children than there is in 2020. So we have pretty much rested at, we find people who need an opportunity for the future and they want to make a difference. Tonight's recipient will make a difference because she already has. Our scholarship is $1,500, can be matched if the student stays within the state of Pennsylvania. And I know this young lady is because it says Indiana University of Pennsylvania. She's always been a hero. I've had the pleasure of being her counselor in 9th grade. I've watched her over the last 3 years, and she's just an awesome young lady. Our family's privileged to have her be our recipient, and she threw a briefcase at Josh Brown and Bye Bye Birdie. So the Melvin J. and Alice Beale Reader Scholarship goes to Shay Paxton. My next one is Miranda Ziegler. Miranda unfortunately got ill I think at the end of 8th grade. She never got to the high school, but I went to her funeral, and so many of the students said that when they moved into Northern Middle School, she helped them around the building. So we started a club here, which is in existence to this day, called the Miranda Club, to help students who were transitioning to Northern and help them around the building. Miranda was just an awesome young lady, and very much like the Butlers, the Ziegler family has turned their tragedy into Miranda Smiles. Tammy Ziegler, the mother, spoke at our Thon kickoff a couple years ago. Our basketball teams raise money each year for Miranda Smiles. So the Zieglers, Tammy, her husband Jeff, and their son Scott, have done amazing things. Many of the patients at Hershey Med Center in the child cancer unit get gifts every time they're in the hospital from Miranda Smiles. So it's my pleasure on behalf of Tammy, Jeff, and Scott Ziegler to present the Miranda Ziegler Memorial Scholarship to Sarah Rade. I also give the Pat Heatwall. Pat Heatwall was a longtime English teacher at the high school. I was fortunate enough my sophomore year to have Mrs. Heatwall for English, and there were things she said that have stayed with me to this day. She used to describe herself, and I think all of our English teachers can relate to this, she was an English teacher by day, by night, and by weekend, which meant she was always doing something for English. And she also had a saying that you're going to read, speak, and write for the rest of your life, so you might as well get good at it. So Pat Heatwall's daughter, Jolie, started a scholarship in her honor, and this goes to somebody who's going to pursue the field of education. And I can tell you now, this recipient, if she's going to become an educator is going to win every single day. And I just wanted to get her degree, get back here as quick as she can because Northern will need her. The recipient of the Pat Heatwall Memorial Scholarship is Katie Anthony. I also am going to give the Sam Mizrahi and his parents, Joe. His dad, Joe, is one of our golf coaches. His mom, Ginny, helps out beginning of the year with gym classes when they do the height, weight, and vision and hearing. And then he had a sister, Nikki, who came through Northern. Just an awesome family, and Sam was an awesome young man. He unfortunately passed away between the summer of his 10th and 11th grade year. So the Mizrahi started a scholarship in his name, and to know Sam, his personality was just infectious. Sam was a cashier at Giant, and he used to say to many of us, hey, if you're coming to Giant, make sure you go through my line, and we did. Some nights we stood 10, 11 deep just to go through Sam's line. He had black flowing hair that eventually they made him put a hat on because it was scaring some of the young kids that came through the line, but Sam was just an amazing young man. And the recipient of the Sam Mizrahi Memorial Scholarship is Nate Chirac. My final one to give, and before I talk about William Everett Potter, I want to talk a second about Jane Alexander. Jane was always the one who presented this. Jane unfortunately passed away a couple weeks ago. She always showed up with the big hat like she was going to Kentucky Derby. This scholarship every year on the deadline, I would take them down to Jane's office, drop them off, and a few days later, Jane never emailed, I'd get a call from her secretary, hey, Jane's ready to talk about the scholarship now. And I would go down, and I'd always tell my wife if I have meetings after school, and I'd say, hey, I'm going to see Jane after school. She knew that it could be anywhere from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock, because Jane told story after story. My favorite story she told was she met President Carter, and President Carter's response was, "No way did the state of Pennsylvania make a woman Assistant Secretary of